Hello guys, I'm Vignette and in this video, I want to show you how I create from this image to this image, okay? The first thing I need to set up when we want to click the render button, we need to change this file format to OpenEXR multilayer. This is important. Choose RGB and float full and zip lossless. And then another thing, you go to the render layers and I call it beauty. The default will be render layers, but I call it beauty here. For the render passes, I'm not using the diffuse glossy transmission render passes because we use the denoising, so these passes still noise. So just take the combine, Z, mist, normal, vector, object index, and other stuff like material index. Sometimes I will have a material index also. The shadow, ambient occlusion, emission, and environment. Okay. And for the mist, we need to set up from our camera because if we see to the word setting, we have drop down called mist pass. That if we go to this camera, you will see that we can adjust the position of the mist from start and the depth. Okay, so I put it like 2.7 meters. After you check on this all passes, now we need to make sure our render samples is high enough to be rendered. Okay, and after that you just choose your locations like so. Okay, I also check object index and material index from the render layer tab. That is to say that I have a list here that what ID mask and what objects that using these numbers. Okay, so like this one, if I go to geo small lamp, if I go to, I call it this one, geo small lamp. If you see it, it has pass index 1. So the name of this step is object. So this pass index is going to object ID, our object ID. Okay, and geo stair glass like this one also have a number, pass index, and then geo floor I also give to the floor. If you see this, pass index 3, and also like this one, geo sofa and geo dining table is I'm using a mat ID like this one. Okay, geo sofa. For this geo sofa I'm using material ID. As you can see here, I have pass index 4. So for the object ID, geo standing lamp is using object ID 4, but for the geo sofa, like this one, because I wanna have, why I use a material ID, it's because this using the same materials. Okay, using glossy leather like this one, but on different objects. So I need to find material ID to put on this pass index. So that's why I use a mat ID for this one. Okay, for this material is using pass index 4 and geo dining table. Okay, like this one, dining table. Okay, this dining table also have 3 different materials, but on the specific glass shader I put a pass index, let's see, glass colored. Okay, I put pass index 5. Okay, this one, 5 index, pass index 5. Okay, for the glass shader. So after that we will have a proper masking, or a proper masking for the glass shader on this object. Okay, after you're sure, you can just press the render button and it will render our image. Okay, but unfortunately our image will look like this, but it's okay because we can try to give some post-processing stuff to this image. Okay, now I have a new window of Blender and I will go to change to this node editor and try to change to the compositing node instead of material nodes. Okay, just using a composite node, and now I'm pressing Shift A and search for image. Okay, and then choose image and open, and I will try to find the image files. This is the files. Okay, you can download on the link from the YouTube descriptions. Okay, open image, and then to composite this one, we need to choose our layers. Okay, because before we use a beauty layer, so this is it. Now if we are go to viewer or UV image editor and then go to the viewer node, I will press Ctrl Shift left click. Okay, now we can see that our raw render is looking so dark and it's not quite interesting enough to look at. Okay, the first thing that we need to do, we can go to the scene tab, and under color management we can choose a filmic. Okay, you can choose a filmic and then bump up the exposure a bit, like maybe 0.9. Okay, something like that, it's okay. And then maybe I will also, for this one I need to change to base contrast. I can make a glare. Okay, if you search for filter glare, I want to have a slight glow on the brightest area. Okay, like this one. So I will choose a fog glow. Okay, and we'll see this. If I mute by pressing M, we see that there's a glow there, but it's kinda I need to make it 0.8 to make even more, but it's too high, I think, so I will turn it down. If -1 it's gone, but now I'll press -0.8. Okay, so we have a slight diffusion in our renders. Okay, another thing that we can set up is I can make a blur. Okay, here, and using a fast Gaussian, I will also make some slight diffusion. I just grab it, press B and drag like that, and also if I press Shift left click and drag over there, it will create a reroute node. Okay, it is important. Okay, to see that, I press Shift Control click and I preview it through viewer node, and I want to make like a slight blur like this one. Okay, and then I'm adding it with the mix node and put it here and put it here, and let's see with the add node, it will adding the pixels. So we have this kind of image right now, but the factor is too high, so I will make it 0.01 instead. So kind of hard to see it, but if we okay, can you see it? Like it's very slight. Okay, so maybe 10, or even like 0.0. Okay, something like that is fine. I can see. Something like this, it's fine. Okay, and now I can try to decrease the gamma. Still, let it on the 1. Okay, and another thing that we can do is now we can separate this one, and by pressing, if you use node wrangler, you can frame select it. Just select this one, frame select it, and then I will call it as a diffusion. Okay, put a color like something like that, it's okay. Maybe I will play with the color management. I will decrease it to 0.9, and I will use a curve and then try to increase it here even more. Okay, and make it contrast again, something like that. And I try to lower the blue and increase the red. Okay, Now another thing I will make by using ID mask that we created before, we can put a matte and choose where is converter, sorry, ID mask, and choose for put a index object to this one, and by pressing to the viewer we can see this is all the object index, and if I go to 1 I can see that this is the lights here. Okay, I put anti-aliasing, and then now I can blur this one. I just go to blur, okay, blur, okay, and then go to fast Gaussian again, and now I can use a relative and try to put this on x-axis, and maybe just 1% is okay. Okay, and then by using a mix node, or you can just find it in color mix and go to the factor and put this color, the first color to black, and it will maintain our color here to white. But now I can change to whatever color we want. Okay, if we want to combine this one, we can use a mix node and put it here and put it here, and choose an add operations. Yeah, as you can see here, we got the glow on the lamp, but it's too high, absolutely, so I just change it to 0.1. okay, another thing is we can try to organize along the way. I can, the shortcut is Shift P, so I just press Shift P here and call it lamp glow. Okay, and maybe red like this one. Another thing is if I see all of these channels here, we can see the depth, shadow, ambient occlusion, normal, vector, index object ID, the mist that we create before, emit, environment, and index materials. Okay, now I want to use this mist pass, though sometimes I use a mist pass for the interior, but I think it's in the morning, so we kind of have a mist pass on our image. Okay, to do that I will also use a mix node and plug it before this emit lights. Okay, and for the mist pass I will also shift right click and put it here, and right click, put it there, and I will put it in the fact of the mix node. And as you can see now, we have the mist pass, but we need to adjust it. Okay, I will change it to screen instead of mix, and now I will turn down the color, so we have a slight mist on our render now. So if I press M to mute it or unmute it, we can see. So I will give slight color like blue maybe, and then try to increase it a bit more. So something like that is okay. Now I can try to make another ID mask to adjust another object. I will also create another ID mask, and maybe for the object ID I will also create a reroute node and put it here. Put it here. Right now I can use a backdrop so you can see a bit better. Bit high, and going to this one, and I will choose the anti-aliasing, and I will call it I'll try to be specific. This is for the emit lights. Okay, and this gonna be the this one. If I press index 2, it is the glass stairs. So glass stairs. Okay, Control Shift D to duplicate with still connected to this this reroute node, and press and change it to 3. 3 is the floor, and I call it floor. Okay, and then what else? 60 again. If I change to 4, what this one? This one is standing lamp. Okay, Control Shift D, and then 5. There is none on the 5. 6. Okay, 6 is bricks. Okay, and maybe now I will go to the material index. Shift D. Where are you? Okay, I think I can go to this one and put it here and make a reroute node, and put it here and put it there. Okay, and call it sofa for the material index. Material index, I think sofa it's index 4, and index 5 it's glass table. Okay, so now we have all of this mask. Okay, now I can try to color correct it. Okay, I'm using a color balance node and put to the factor, and for this image slot we need to use our last input socket here. Okay, so I can try to move it to here. Okay, it's kind of messy, but I think it's fine. So this one I can call it Shift P and then call it ID mask. Okay, whatever it is, like object ID or material ID. And now we can try to put the image here, and right now it's nothing happened because we just put it as the factor. So we basically isolate the glass object on this node. Okay, and I will choose an offset power slope. Okay, and now if I press Alt and right click, middle click, I can see that I will try to change the look of this glass, but here when I go to the blue area, it's inverted. So I think we can go to here if we want to make it more bluish. Okay, so if we want to make a bit greenish, we can go here, like a cyan. I think not so green. Yeah, I think this one looks okay. So if I mute this one, we can see that we already color collected. Okay, so I press H to hide this. Okay, hide this one. So I call this one also glass stairs. Okay, and then again make a color balance node, and after this one is just we can put a floor here for the fact and image from this last output socket. And now if I press viewer again, like Control Shift left click, I can go again to this floor and then try to adjust the color also. Okay, for the floor I think I will lower the slope to make it a bit dark. Yeah, something like that. It's gonna be fine. If I mute this one, yes, you can see. Okay, and press H again to hide it and call it floor. Okay, and then again just doing this stuff here. It's like so, this one, and then now it's standing lamp, and try to view this from this one again. And if I increase it, I think I kind of like this one. Okay, and press H again to hide it, and color balance, and offset power slope, image, and now the brakes. Okay, the brakes is kind of we need to make it a bit brighter like that. Okay, and if I increase this one, it will also increase the contrast. Okay, so if we press mute, before, after. Okay, so I will call it brakes. Okay, the sofa, color balance, power slope. So this one is going to the image again, and then this one going to the fact, and I will call it sofa. Okay, and then preview it again, and now I will try to, I think it's too contrasty here, so I will make it lower. Yeah, something like that. I think it's okay. So before, after. Okay, sofa. The last thing, I think the glass table. Yes, the glass table, color balance, and then glass table. Okay, put it here, put it there. Yeah, the glass table. And I'll also make this high enough. Okay, let's see what's happened. Increase the contrast and go to this. Okay, like so, like that one. It's good enough to have this kind of color. Okay, glass table. So yeah, I think this is a good starting point to our workflow on this process. I think now I can also increase this area, like for overall looks. Yeah, I think I can use another color balance and put it here. Okay, try to make this image it's a bit high like that, and then try to lower it a bit, make it a bit contrast. And for the factor, I will just put it like 0.5. Okay, so this is before and this is after. I can also put another color balance node and put it here. So this is the first result, and this is the second result. And the second result, I want to make it slightly bluish like that. So the idea is I want to have this blue and combine with this orange, like this warm color. So by using a mix node, we can try to put it here and here, and it will combine it. If 1, it will using the second socket, but if 0, it will use the first socket, the blue one. Okay, so I will make another masking, but now I will use an ellipse mask and try to slightly to here and put it a bit high and increase it a bit for the weight and the high. Okay, and if you see, it's looking like that now, and I need to see if I changed the resolution to 100. So it's going to fast Gaussian and then image, and I will blur it like maybe 200. Okay, and then I think I will put it here. Okay, so now the blue area is covering this area, but the warm stuff is covering this area. Okay, yeah, I can make it a bit more, maybe 180. Okay, try to contrast it again. Okay, yeah, I think it's something like that. It's gonna be fine. Okay, the last thing I think, we can use a new elite mask to make a vignette. Okay, elite mask, and try to make the width and the height, and maybe I can go to here and put it like so, and also using the blur, but now the blur is going to bit bigger. Yeah, something like that. I think 200, or I just using relatives, so we can just, okay, something like that. It's gonna be fine. So, and for the mix node, again, I'm going to use a multiply, and yeah, as you can see, it's too high. This is too high. I will try to lower it like 0.1. Okay, so this is before and this is after. Okay guys, I think it's, if we see before, our image before and then after, it's looking much better now. Okay, with the glow, and then the color corrected on the glass and also on the sofa, it makes our image looks even more appealing. Okay, so guys, I hope you can enjoy it and then learn something about this post-processing on Blender. If you have any idea or feedback, please leave a comment below, and if you like, you can also subscribe to my channels. And yeah, this is it. Okay guys, thank you and see you on my next videos.